Hello, Siddiqui, how are you? I like living in a rural area now, though it's very different to the places I've lived in for most of my life, much more urban and congested. One of the things I like actually is how personal encounters often are. If you meet someone in a lane, in a car or on foot, they'll always acknowledge you. Whether it's partly relief that you, the person in the car, hasn't run them down, there seems to be that desire to acknowledge each other, even if we haven't yet got to know who we are. In the end, community, rural or urban, is about people who don't really understand each other very well, but offering the opportunity for relationship. I'm fascinated by people, but it's difficult to find out who someone else really is without it feeling quite intrusive. If I ask you even basic questions about yourself, you start to feel like you're filling out a Viertelnkreis, an application form. Will your answers be acceptable? Will you get it right? Can you present the best version of yourself like you have to get a job? It's a shame, isn't it, that as human beings we so often make each other feel tense, make us feel that we can't really be who we really are. And these are not just abstract thoughts. At the moment, the very idea of identity is tearing the church I love apart. The Anglican communion of Anglicans all over the world, is turning out not really to be a communion at all. There are many bishops who in conscience don't feel able to come to the current Lambeth Conference, and we're told that when they break bread together in the first Eucharist, some will not take part. Now, of course, integrity, truth is important, but isn't it sad that somehow the thing that divides us is the thing that for people is so deeply personal? Who they are, who they're allowed to love. I'm not going to pretend a glib answer to that, and I'm sure those of you watching this video don't all agree with each other or with me about what the right answer might be, but I do offer one suggestion. And that suggestion is that we take our lead from Jesus. I love that passage in John chapter 10, you know, the one that talks about Jesus as the Good Shepherd. He conjures up a picture of nervous sheep who will run away from strangers but somehow recognise his voice, the voice of their God. He talks about shepherds who abandon their flock when things are difficult or dangerous, and contrasts them with his love, which will go so far to protect us and provide for us that he'll even lay down his life in our place. And in the midst of all of that, Jesus tells us why he came. He says, I've come to give them life in all its abundance. I've come to give them life. So here's the suggestion. When we feel that someone else isn't really a Christian, when we feel that someone else isn't really someone that we can understand, maybe when they disgust us or make us angry, or where, if we're honest, they represent the things we fear, what would it take for us to help that person to find life in all its fullness? I suspect that part of the answer every time will be for that person to be able to tell us who they really are. There's a huge irony that in a time when people are seeking identity, seeking to be authentically true to who they really are, that the church often seems to be the place you escape from rather than run towards to find that hope and wholeness and authenticity. I guess in the end what I'm asking us to do is to trust the Good Shepherd and allow him to help us to flourish, to become who we were always meant to be. It may sound glib. It probably is more hopeful than the situation warrants, but that's what I'll be praying about for the church I love and for you. Amen.